Nathan Hindmarsh's 2012 autobiography, Old School, My Life Story, was published with the help of Michael Visontay and helps the reader understand the life of a rugby league great. It delves deep into the life of the Parramatta Eels legend and perfectly describes how sport delivery systems helped this self-proclaimed boy from the bush reach first grade rugby league. I chose this autobiography because I find Nathan's story intriguing in so many facets, and it describes, in detail, his journey from grassroots rugby league to the NRL. Shilbury and Kellett describe sport delivery systems as a very simple system that allows participants the opportunity to participate at a level depending on their ability. This means that athletes, coaches, and administrators are able to work their way up through the ranks to reach the top level in their sport. It is important for us to understand how these systems work so they can be improved and changed if necessary. In the following vodcast, I will describe how Nathan got to play first grade rugby league, who was involved, and analyse the systems rugby league has in place in order to get Nathan from Robertson in rural New South Wales to State of Origin and Rugby League World Cups. Nathan Hindmarsh began playing soccer at his local primary school against friends in a local competition in Robertson. He then started playing rugby league in Year 6 and his skills dramatically improved in high school where he played for Mossvale. At the end of Year 10, Nathan was scouted by a big rugby league school, the Patrician Brothers College. Nathan found the move difficult, and after a month he returned to Robertson and went back to school at Mossvale. It was there where he was offered a spot in the team of the Parramatta SG Ball side, which was the under-18s competition in rugby league back in the late 1990s till the mid-2000s. From there, Nathan's career flourished, with him gaining a full-time spot in the Jersey Flegg side, which was the under-20s competition, followed by the reserve grade team. His first game of first grade came in 1998 against the Adelaide Rams, and 2 years later he made his debut for the Australian team in the 2000 Rugby League World Cup. In 2001, Nathan then represented New South Wales in the State of Origin series. Nathan's rugby league career can be seen here on this timeline, starting with the grassroots level all the way through to him representing his state and country. Many sports organisations were used to help Nathan reach the pinnacle of his sport, and the first one is his school. Mossvale High and the Patrician Brothers College in Sydney helped Nathan develop his skills not only on the field but off it too. He mentions the fact that he played in a competition called the St. Greg's Knockout, a pre-season tournament for private schools in Sydney. He says, "Our team played well in the knockout phase, and we faced a big strong team from Parramatta Marist, who included Nathan Kalis, his brother Jason, and Chad Robinson, who all went on to play first grade." This competition is a single elimination competition formed by the New South Wales Rugby League and NRL, which are both a state sport organisation and national sport organisation respectively. This tournament is important because it teaches athletes at a young age that sport is not easy, and it builds their mental toughness on and off the field. This is why single elimination tournaments are popular among school sports, as it is easy and quick to conduct and puts a larger emphasis on player performance and ability. The next major competitions Nathan was involved in is the SG Ball, Jersey Flegg and Reserve Grade competition. The main organisations involved here were the New South Wales Rugby League, Queensland Rugby League and the NRL. These competitions were far more structured and professional, with the Jersey Flegg and Reserve Grade competitions becoming full-time jobs for most athletes. Nathan describes the massive difference between the junior competitions and the reserve grade by saying, "In reserve grade, they hurt you more, and there was less room for error. The higher up you went, the less chance you were of getting away with certain things." This quote shows that the system put in place by the NRL helps athletes grow and slowly develop their skills. The system has now changed, with SG Ball and Jersey Flegg replaced by one under-20s tournament, where each NRL team has a side. Reserve grade has also been divided, with New South Wales and Queensland having different competitions. Each NRL club has an affiliation with a team from either Queensland or the New South Wales division. For example, Parramatta are now affiliated with the Wentworthville Magpies. Hindmarsh mentions his disappointment at the new under-20s format, saying, "That's what I find difficult about today's under-20s competition. All of a sudden, boys are expected to play against first grade, and reserve grade doesn't play the same role as it did. Young guys need a chance to play against men before they reach first grade." I believe that the NRL has placed too much influence on the under-20s competition, and have in some way neglected the reserve grade. Former players have also come out against the under-20s format, with Ashley Harrison saying, "That's why there's a big question mark about the 20s now, because while it's great competition, I don't think you get the real toughness that you'd get when you're a young man playing against fully grown men." It is evident that the new system has changed the game of rugby league, and after looking at this evidence, the reserve grade system should be reintroduced or restructured for more effective player development. Nathan's international and state representation was also unique in the fact that he played for Australia before he represented his state. Rugby league has had a long-running problem with players choosing state over country, and I personally believe it is a problem. The reasoning behind this is because 1. The competition is greater at a state level, and 2. Players earn more playing for state series rather than international series. You often see players from New Zealand moving to Australia and gaining citizenship just to play for their state, and an example of this is Josh Papali, who moved to Queensland as a teenager, moving through the ranks and choosing Queensland over New Zealand. The two main organisations involved with state and national representation include the New South Wales Rugby League and the Australian Rugby League respectively. New South Wales Rugby League has had a massive role in the development of players throughout Nathan's career and continue to influence today with the introduction of the divided reserve grade competition. The State of Origin series is a 3-game series played annually between New South Wales and Queensland and is often mentioned as the pinnacle of rugby league in Australia. As Nathan says, "It was a big thrill to play for your country, but the big game you want to play in is State of Origin." On the other hand, International Rugby League has never really been strong, with 3 nations often fighting out to be the best: Australia, New Zealand and England. I believe this is why the World Cups have never been a roaring success, because of the lack of competition. An essay done by Sway and Salvador studied the physical effects increased competition can have on people and found it increased focus and performance. This is important because it highlights the importance of competition and that rugby league, not only in Australia but worldwide, must set up an international sports organisation to ensure the success of future international events, instead of each nation having its own governing body. I believe this system would also dramatically improve the governments of rugby league worldwide. I believe Nathan has a great understanding of sport delivery systems and clearly states where he believes the system is strong or weak. As I said earlier, he mentions his dissatisfaction at the new under-20s format and how they neglected the old system that was in place. He also systematically goes through his career, mentioning clubs and coaches that have helped him get to the level he reached. He also notes what the difference is between each grade and level, and how difficult each level is once you begin. I believe this book has helped me understand plenty about sport delivery systems and how athletes make their way to the top level of their chosen sport. In rugby league, it is obvious that State of Origin is the pinnacle. I believe more emphasis needs to be placed on international rugby league, and competition amongst nations should be improved. It is evident that this is happening with countries like Papua New Guinea entering teams into reserve grade competitions here in the NRL. By creating a main international governing body, I think international rugby league will grow and only become stronger. I also believe the reserve grade and under-20s competitions should be fixed in order for young players to gain experience before entering first grade. Nathan Hindmarsh's 2012 autobiography, Old School, My Life Story, is a great representation of how a boy from the country can crack the big time. It highlights the sport delivery systems that helped Nathan become a rugby league great, and gives the reader a brilliant insight into the life of a professional athlete. I do believe the sport delivery systems rugby league has in place at the moment could be improved, especially at an international level. But it is evident that local rugby league does a great job in ensuring all athletes, no matter where they are from, have a chance of making it to first grade. Please find the reference list in the description of this video. Thank you.